With the release of Film Stampede, this batch debuted in August on Japan. However, Douglas Bullet debuted on OPTC Global on the 13th of January 2020. Entering the new year, many were excited about a few big upcoming releases, Bullet being one of them. The characters that debuted in this batch included Brook from One Piece Stampede, Nico Robin from One Piece Stampede, as well as Chopper from One Piece Stampede. And the SugoFest exclusive character of the batch was a type-focused captain with a unique effect of making his own normal attacks super effective against all types. Synergizing with his special dealt massive damage at the turn's end depending on the amount of damage that this character had done with his normal attacks, allowing you to knock out enemies with ease. Introducing Monster losing sight of his goal, Douglas Bullet. In this series, we'll be traveling back in time to experience some of the older SugoFest exclusive characters in their prime, aiming to show just what it was like to use these characters on their debut. I hope you enjoy the video, and without further ado, let's enter the Legends of OPTC. So thank you very much for checking out yet another episode of the Legends of OPTC, and today we're looking at a very powerful legend release. On release, many considered to be a top 3 best legend in the game, and was continuously good for quite a good period of time. However, with the introduction of normal attacks only, it definitely hindered what this character aimed to do. However, with the recent additions of Level Limit Break, this character is definitely much better, and we're talking about Douglas Bullet today. A lot of people love this character, even me. I'm still a big fan of this unit, and hopefully we get like a new version of Bullet in the future, but there are some components about Bullet that I absolutely adore, and we'll talk about all of that today. This character debuted as a treasure map SugoFest, which was a little bit different. So these characters, Bullet was the highest booster, and you have these Straw Hats from the Film Stampede that were also the boosters for the event. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First of all, we've got Brook from One Piece Stampede, being a quick slasher free spirit. Captain ability does not matter. Removing blindness is a pretty useful effect. 50 times his attack and quick damage to a single target, and then boosting the attack of strength, quick, and int by 1.5. And if you hit 4 perfects during the turn you launch the special, you get a 2 times boost for 2 turns in the following turn. So you don't really get a lot of buffs on the initial release, on the initial turn. 1.5 is kind of average, but then you do eventually get a 2 times boost. Requiring 4 perfects was definitely pretty hard to get though in a lot of content. There were some niche circumstances where this character was actually really nice to use. Sometimes enemies react to an interrupt if you activate an attack boost, and this was one way you could get around that. So Brook, he was an okay rare recruit character. Nico Robin is going to be the next character here. So she is an int cerebral fighter. Nothing really too noticeable, but she does make tandem and recovery slots beneficial to strength, quick, and int. That's actually very powerful. Making 2 slots beneficial to a wide variety of characters on your crew is very good. And she would give a 1.75 color affinity boost to strength, quick, and int for 3 turns, and locking your slots for 1 turn. This was definitely a character that did see some kind of play. Multiple turn boosting effects were always nice, because removing beneficial effects wasn't the most common thing to happen. So this was a very useful thing, carrying color affinity for multiple turns for multiple different colors. So building a team around these types with Robin on your crew was very easy to do. Now the final character here is going to be Chopper, who is actually pretty solid. So Chopper is a strength fighter cerebral. His crewmate ability does resist special bind on himself, which is kind of redundant. He doesn't remove it on his special, which is interesting. His special, though, does recover 13 times his recovery in HP at the end of the turn for 3 turns, and then removing paralysis, despair, and chain limit and chain reduction, all by 5 turns. So lots of debuff removal, good utility special. It would have been nice if he resisted more turns of special bind and then also removed it in his own special, but for what he is at face value is not terrible. And I do believe we're going to be using this character in the video today. So let's go ahead and talk about the SugoFest exclusive, which is Douglas Bullet. So in this video, we are going to be using the 6-star form of Bullet, not the 6-star plus, even though, like, the 6-star plus didn't even arrive that much longer after the 6-star release. So this is the 6-star form, of course. This is the 5-star form, as we all know and love. and the Super Evolution came out relatively quickly. I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks after the release of the unit, the Super Evolution was available, which came out around the same time as Stampede Luffy, which will be next week's video. But this guy, Strength Fighter driven, Captain ability, very strong Captain ability, and was the reason why he saw so much play. So boosting the attack of Strength Quicken Int by 4x, 1.2 HP, and then boost the attack of himself by 4.5 times. Strength Quicken Int slots are beneficial to Strength Quicken Int, but then the real kicker is that his own normal attacks are super effective against all types. This was the first captain in the game that introduced this mechanic, and since its release we've been waiting for even more effects like this to occur. It doesn't happen very often, but this is a very strong effect. And remember, around this time period, the best legends in the game were like Luffy and Law, for example, Sabo, Koala, and these characters in their dual form could attain that 4 to 4.5 times boost. So this guy, remember, he's not like a dual legend where you only get the combined captain for a short period of time. You're always going to be getting a 4 times boost to 3 colors, but he himself always being 4.5 is very strong when you consider the fact that he's always hitting super effectively, as well as generating lots of matching slots for your crew. Just fantastic usability as a captain. And then it continues on with his special. It does a 20% health cut to one target that goes through defensive effects, and then it does 2 times damage dealt by this character's normal attacks in typeless damage to all enemies at the end of the turn for the next 2 turns. So this works perfectly and synergizes amazingly with his captain, being able to have a massive multiplier, that 4.5, as well as being super effective, means that his special is always going to be doing a very solid amount of damage. And it does also mean that color affinity boosts with Douglas Bullet are even more valuable, because color affinity with Bullet will always be activated, as he's always going to be super effective against all types. So this is very strong, as you know, if he with his normal attacks does 1,000,000 damage, then it will double it and do it as end of turn damage to all enemies. So if he does 1,000,000 damage, his special will allow you to do 2,000,000 damage to all enemies at the end of the turn, allowing you to get around resilience effects, you know, for example. But of course, normal attacks only severely hinders the usability of that special. And then of course, eventually he gets that super evolution to become this monstrosity right here. So the classes and colors do not change, and the only real difference here is that he does get an HP boost, a 1.2 HP boost, and he ups his own multiplier to be 4.75 times instead. So just more damage given to this character, which is awesome. And then the special ability will also allow the 20% health cut target all enemies instead of a single target. So not major differences between the 6-star and the 6-star plus, but of course nowadays he does have access to the level limit break, which makes him a lot more usable in a lot more content. So that obviously helps him out in the long run. But as I said, in today's video, we're going to be covering Douglas Bullet up against the island to actually acquire the Super Evolution Skulls to transform him into a 6-star plus. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the content. Alright, so we're in-game now with Douglas Bullet in his 6-star form, and it's kind of crazy to think about it, because we had Douglas Bullet release, and it wasn't that long after until we actually got the 6-star plus, so we really didn't get a good opportunity to, like, actually appreciate what this 6-star character looked like, and how he looked and all that. But, of course, with the introduction of the 6-star plus, he was just a straight upgrade. There was no reason to maintain him in this form. But this is the team that we have here today, and the big theming in this event was paralysis and despair, because they really ideally wanted you to use Stampede Luffy in this event, as Stampede Luffy's captain ability removes paralysis and despair. So we're going to have a lot of characters that remove those 2 debuffs on our crew, as well as having Big Mom, which should give us a very big damage boosting effect. Remember that, you know, Bullet doesn't have an attack boost, an orb boost, an affinity boost in his kit, at least not until he gets that level limit break in the 6-star plus form. So we do have to rely on other specials to actually give us damage boosting effects. So here we go. So we're going to be starting off in this content. This is the content you had to farm in order to pick up the evolution skulls. For those who don't know how to actually unlock this quest, there is an unlockable quest icon on Extra Island that you can go and access and unlock some of the Super Evolution Skull islands like Katakuri, Frankie, V1 Sanji, Robin, not Robin, it's Nami and Boa and stuff like that. But anyways, have a look at this chunky boy. He is a big robot, and let's just have a look at this attack animation just to start us off. So we'll kill this one. Let's have a look. That man just slamming down on him with that rainbow statistics. It's so satisfying seeing those rainbow numbers pop up because it just doesn't happen very often. And, you know, even, you know, as I'm recording this video, this is around the time of Gear 5 Luffy, and obviously there's a lot of hype around that character. And, you know, a lot of people were kind of upset about certain mechanics of that character. And I think that adding rainbow damage in some way into his kit would be a really good way for that character to kind of improve, and that's what a lot of people were kind of hoping for, you know? So it is a little upsetting that he doesn't have something like that, but I just would love to see more stuff like this. Like, Final Tap, for example. We don't have a Final Tap in the game that gives rainbow damage, and I think that's kind of crazy too. Like, I do feel like rainbow damage would be a really nice Final Tap on top of doing something else. I feel like just adding rainbow damage probably isn't the best. You gotta add something else on top of it. But, you know, I feel like that there should be something like that, you know? That'd be a really, really nice addition. But anyways, we do need to get some stall up because we do need to launch some of these specials at some point during this quest here. So we are going to be doing a little bit of stall on these Elder Turtles and the Daimyo Turtles, of course, but generating lots of matching slots with the crew, which is fantastic. You know, Bullet making Strength, Quick, and Int slots beneficial. And then, of course, if you have other ways to make other slots beneficial, we talked about the Robin Rare Recruit that debuted alongside, which has the really cool ability of making Tandem and Recovery slots beneficial to Strength, Quick, and Int, which is pretty dope. We actually don't need to stall anymore. We've done quite a lot of stall here. So let's just go ahead and move on. We don't really need to do anything else. Move on. We do have some mini-bosses coming up, I do believe. Yeah, here's our first mini-boss, and look at this giant bullet. He is a big boy. Is that really all you have? Conqueror's Haki. Yeah, well, that's all we've got right now, apparently. So we've got Despair and Paralysis inflicted to the crew. You removed Despair and Paralysis, so let's go ahead and use the Chopper Special. So that's going to not only remove it, but also give us a bit of healing effects, which is going to be nice because Despair obviously does reduce your HP because we have an HP boosting captain. And I don't think that this guy actually had that much HP, so I believe with normal attacks we should be able to knock out this Douglas bullet. So let's bring home the bacon. Let's get it. Nice. That rainbow damage is so cool. Ah, it's so good, man. Alright, so he's going to heal and he's going to run away. He'll be back later. We're going to deal with him in just a moment. So we've got stage 5, so we're approaching the final stage now. We probably did do a little bit too much stalling, to be honest, but that's good. You know, we don't need to do any more stall. We've got all of our specials ready. Do we need matching slots, though? I don't think we need matching slots. I'm not 100%. No, at least one on one of the captains, because we want to be abusing the bullet special very shortly. That's going to be very useful, and we get to show off that for the first time, too. So here we go. Here we got the Douglas bullet once again. Come at me, all of you, of course. He's going to despair us once again. And he's now a blue character. He does have that defense up as well. I completely overlooked the defense up. Hopefully we can still kill without it. Let's see here. Let's remove this. Remove the despair. And it does give us some damage nullification, so he's not going to do any damage to us. Let's go ahead and use the special of Bullet, because Bullet's going to be, hopefully, how we do as much damage as possible. And this special animation obviously changes when he goes from his 6-star to his 6-star plus, as he's not in this robot form anymore, which is kind of fascinating. So, hopefully we have enough damage just with this alone to get the knockout, but I think that defense up might be a bit harsh, so let's see what we can do. Let's get it. That was really bad. That defense up is really, really harsh. I completely overlooked the defense up. Probably should have done something about that. Luckily, we do have another matching slot on our Douglas bullet, so that's going to be kind of nice. We do still have healing at the end of the turn. I'm not too sure how much damage this guy even does to us. Alright, let's go again with some more damage. Let's get it. Oh no. Yeah, that's kind of yikes. Hopefully he doesn't do any terrible mechanics. What's he going to do now? Halve damage, remove beneficial effects. Okay, so Rainbow Shield, and he's also got the defense up. We do have another recovery slot here, so we will actually consume that. Man, this is really bad. We've just made this content way longer than it needs to be. And with this activated, there's no way he takes any damage at all. Yeah, he's just tanking everything. We do have the Ho Ship special, which can give us a bit of healing, which we won't activate just yet. We'll wait until, you know, we get a little bit lower, because if we pick up another couple recovery slots, that'll give us some recovery back, of course. Man, what an oversight by my end, but I think we'll be okay, so long as he doesn't do any nasty mechanics. I think we'll be okay. Okay, again, doesn't do anything, so we'll just go ahead and consume this recovery slot and do all the stalling once again. I mean, to be honest, we probably shouldn't even be doing damage because it's just a waste of time, you know? We're not doing anything to this dude. Okay, let's go ahead and use the Host Ship, which is going to give us a couple turns of recovery. Let's see now, with just the Rainbow Shield activated, can we actually start doing some decent damage to him? And hopefully he doesn't do anything below 20%. Let's see if he does anything. Okay, don't do anything bad. Okay, we're good. And now he's dead. Nice. That was easy. No problems at all. What an oversight. Completely overlooking the defense up. Okay, so next we're going to have the final boss, 6-star plus Douglas Bullet this time, transforming into Int. Of course, if you have Stampede Luffy, he deals with that pretty comfortably. Now, let's go ahead and use Rayleigh, which is going to remove the paralysis and the despair on us. If you're using Stampede Luffy, you don't have to worry about it at all, which is good. But obviously, 6-star plus Rayleigh, such a good unit. Like, honestly, one of the best aged units of all time. Because a lot of people kind of mad when Rayleigh got his 6+. People were like, you know, he doesn't even do anything. But as time has progressed and we've kind of realized how powerful his utility is, so good. Now, let's go ahead and use the special of Big Mom, which is going to give us a full board of G slots, attack, orb, and an affinity boost, which is fantastic damage. And then we're going to have our Douglas Bullet, which is going to enable us to do super good end of turn damage. And obviously with the fact that he is a Rainbow Captain is massive for this unit. Let's go ahead and use the Douglas Bullet special as we said. So we get the health cut, we're going to have the end of turn damage, and then that should give us a good amount of damage in order to get the knockout here. Of course, no normal attacks only is a huge positive for us here. So, without further ado, let's do some damage, hopefully get the knockout. Let's get it. I wanted to get the kill with the special, and we did. There we go. So that was more than enough damage, but, you know, probably should have shifted some characters around just to ensure we got through that defense a bit more efficiently, but all in all, we got the job done. I didn't even see, but I don't think we dropped a Super Evolution Skull, which is obviously the whole reason why you even do this content. Oh, actually, we might have. What did we actually get? Oh, we did drop a Super Evolution Skull. You absolutely love to see it. Awesome. All right, so that is going to wrap it up for us today using Douglas Bullet as the captain. And as we have already stated, that next week's episode we're going to be covering Stampede Luffy, and that's another character with that level limit break addition that is a fantastic upgrade for that character. But still, Stampede Luffy doesn't have a super evolution yet, so hopefully we see that in the future, because that unit with a super evolution and level limit break on top of it could be pretty busted. But that is going to wrap it up from me. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.